Hi guys, this is lesson 16 problem set, and just on the side, I'd like to wish you a happy Friday. Today's lesson is actually more on the number line, but we're going to go a little bit farther than we've gone in the past. So if you were to look at problem number 1, it says label the unit fractions on the number line. Label the wholes as fractions in the boxes. The first one is done for you. So if you look at this, you'll notice we have 0, 1, but then we've got numbers beyond 1. Yesterday we were just stopping at 1. So if you look at this, they're telling us that we're working with halves. That's what this fraction tells you. So we're going to start with 0 halves, 1 half, 2 halves. But notice what happens after we get past 2 halves. What do you notice about that numerator? Top number just goes up to 3 halves and 4 halves. The number on the bottom, that denominator, stays the same because these sections are still half-size sections. But the numerator can go up and up and up and up and up. And the other thing I want to point out to you is, do you know what 2 divided by 2 is? 1. What's 4 divided by 2? 2. So that's a way to check your work to see if you're at the right spot with your numbering of your fractions. Okay, so I'm going to kind of zoom in here a little bit. Oh, there it went. And that way I can write in these boxes a little bit easier. Let's go to the first one that isn't done for us. Okay, this is a third. So you can see there's 1, 2, 3 sections in one whole. So we're going to start like we have before. This is going to be 0 thirds. Your first tick mark is 1/3. Second one is 2/3. Third one is 3/3. And is 3 divided by 3 equal to 1? Yeah. So now the next one's going to be 4/3. I'm just bringing that numerator up each time. 5/3. And then the final one would be, hopefully you were thinking 6/3. And 6 divided by 3 is 2. Right? Next one, here we are with halves again. So this is going to be 0. They didn't put that in there for some reason. That's a 0, not a 6. Oh boy, now it's just a blob. So this is going to be 0 halves, 1 half, 2 halves. So you really don't have to write the fractions in between unless you want to write them to kind of keep you on track. But I'm going to kind of think about it in my head. So after 2 halves, 3 halves, that means this is 4 halves, 5 halves, 6 halves. And again, if we do our check, 0 divided by 2 is 0, 2 divided by 2 is 1, 4 divided by 2 is 2, and 6 divided by 2 is 3. Or think about it as a multiplication problem. 0 times 2 is 0, 1 times 2 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4, 3 times 2 is 6. Okay? Last one on this side, we've got fourths. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 sections in the whole. So this is 0 fourths, 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4, 5/4, 6/4, 7/4, 8/4, 9/4, 10/4, 11/4, 12/4. Okay. And just a quick check, 3 times 4 is 12, 2 times 4 is 8, 1 times 4 is 4, 0 times 4 is 0. That's how we know we got the right answer. Okay, let's go to the back side. Partition each whole into 5 unit fractions. Label each fraction. So partition means to divide up 5 fractions. So we need to make 4 lines here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then count your sections. So between tick marks, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So I'm talking about fifths. I've got to label this one that way too, though. 1, 2, 3, 4. So each whole needs to have 5 sections, not the whole number line. Each whole. Okay. And from 0 to 1 is a whole. From 1 to 2 is a whole. So at 0, we're at 0 fifths, okay, because it's 5 unit fractions. We're going to go ahead and label each of these because it says label each fraction. So I'm going to do 1/5, 2/5, 3/5, 4/5, 5/5, 6/5, 7/5, 8/5, 9/5, 10/5. Okay. And is 10 divided by 5 2, or 2 times 5 10? You betcha. 1 times 5 is 5, 0 times 5 is 0. This is a 6. Okay, and the last one, each whole has been partitioned into thirds. Label each fraction. So they did the partitioning for us. So since we're talking about thirds, our denominator is going to be 3. This is 0. 1/3, 2/3, 3/3, 4/3, 5/3, 6/3, 7/3, 8/3, 9/3. Okay. Checking again. 3 times 3 is 9. 2 times 3 is 6. 1 times 3 is 3. 0 times 3 is 0. And you'll notice on all of these there's a box where all of the whole fractions are. You'll probably be asked to do that in a future lesson. So just kind of keep that in mind. They've boxed where the holes are just to kind of make it more obvious to you. Okay. So again, this lesson was all about creating fractions that are bigger than one whole. And what we call those are improper fractions. Okay. They're so rude to have a higher number on the top than they do on the bottom. Okay. So once you get past 3/3, these are all improper fractions because the numerator is bigger than the denominator. Okay. All right. So go ahead and start on your homework. Stay focused on getting your work done so you don't have to do any over the weekend. And then when you're done, why don't you go back on front row, practice some geometry, some fractions, or fact fluency if you haven't passed all of those facts. All right? Thanks. Bye.